Welcome back to 10,001 Games, where we play 10,001 simulated games for different Warhammer 40k scenarios and give you real, randomly generated results in a Monte Carlo style analysis to show what to expect in real-world matchups. Today we are looking at part 2 of the Meganobz from the Orcs faction, so let's see how well they will fare when we play over 10,000 games against a variety of opponents you may expect to see on the tabletop. As with each unit examined on this channel, Part 1 will show the value of the reviewed unit against infantry. The second video, this one, will cover various vehicle and monster opponents, and the third will cover synergies and combos to maximize the efficiency of your bloody tasks. Before we begin, in my videos I use the terms reliable and reliably to mean the damage numbers reported can actually be relied upon even with subpar but not ridiculously bad dice. My cutoff for this term is 70%, meaning that out of 10,001 scenarios, at least 7,000 return the result that I am reporting, or better. The reason that I do not look at the average is because when you use that as your benchmark, you will fail 50% of the time. In order to make ourselves better players, we need to be pleasantly surprised when things go our way, rather than on tilt because we just barely missed something that we really needed to go off. Please also bear in mind that every model I cover will also be seen in the painting corner throughout the video, and in each of the 3 videos I post will equate to one model that I will mail out to you, the viewers. All that is needed to win is a comment on the video and a subscription to the channel. 30 days after I post the video, I will send the fully painted model to one lucky viewer per video in the weekly series. I do not require you to also have the bell icon clicked, but if you do, it will help you get notified the next time I put up a video so you can enter to win that model as well. Once per month, I will review a larger unit voted on by my Patreon supporters. The winner of that unit will be selected from the patrons, so if you enjoy the channel, please look into supporting my ability to continue producing material by heading over to the Patreon link in the description or by purchasing your models through the affiliate link in Amazon, both provided in the comments section of the video. The ultimate goal of these videos is to maximize your understanding of how your unit can be expected to perform in real-world scenarios. So, without further ado, let's jump right into the possible enemies that you may face on the tabletop. This video is part 2 in the series and will cover hardened targets such as light, standard, heavy vehicles and monsters, as well as flyers. Previously, I reviewed this unit's effectiveness against infantry targets, and in the next video I will cover unique combos and synergies available to the units in question to maximize the performance against the various targets you may face. Up first, we have the faster vehicles in the Warhammer 40k universe. This could be a group of sentinels, a buggy, or land speeder. These targets are known for their toughness being around 5 or 6 with multiple wounds, typically in the range of about 6 to 8 wounds. These targets can be incredibly difficult for a group of Meganobz to get into combat with, due simply to their speed, but if your Meganobz are coming out of deep strike or being dejumped across the table, it is still possible, even likely, that they will get into combat with a 9-inch charge, and the Here We Go rule. These targets are easily dispatched in the combat phase, and it is less effective to attack these targets in the shooting phase than infantry, because your units are only about half as likely to score a wound after hitting as they are against infantry targets such as Imperial Guardsmen. That being said, here's the math, assuming the squad of 3 Meganobz. I chose 3 for this matchup because Meganobz should only be a slightly higher point value compared to one of these other units, and it is the minimum number allowed to be fielded. The custom shooter profile times 3 Meganobz will spit out 12 shots, hitting on 5s and wounding on 5s. This means that only about a third of the time, 3 Meganobz will put 1 wound on a light vehicle in the shooting phase, then an additional 4 during the engagement range combat phase. If you are lucky enough to hit these guys with scorches, the wound count goes to a reliable 2 damage in the shooting phase and 4 remaining in CQC. Swapping over to kill saws creates a reliable 6 damage per combat round, though at the cost of shooting. As we move down the list, one thing will become abundantly clear: Meganobz are much better in your face than at range against heavier targets. Standard vehicles typically have a 3+ armor save, toughness 7, and around 8 to 12 wounds. These would be the Rhinos of the Space Marines and their defensive equivalent, Tyranid Carnifexes and Orc Death Dreads, for example. For math purposes, we will only look at the wounds placed on these units since the opponents vary in that regard. In the shooting phase, custom shooters will generate about 1 wound about 30% of the time from 3 Meganobz shooting, while the Scorcher variants produce 1 much more regularly. You may have noticed by now that I am ignoring the combi rocket weapon profile when giving reports on this unit. This is because if you will spend the points on combi rockets, you should instead put those rockets on tank busters. When I eventually tackle tank busters, I will go into why that is, but for now, trust me when I say that the math does not support the extra expense. After charging, the same 3 Meganobz will reliably lay down 2 to 4 wounds on this type of target with power claws, and 6 with kill saws, making heavier targets much better for charging and saving the shooty gubbins for the chaff. Next, let's look at heavy vehicles and monsters. Here we find the big scary targets of the 41st millennium. They are stompy with toughness 8 and usually pack in excess of 10 wounds, sometimes as many as 40 in the case of an Orc Stompa, or 35 in the Warhound Titan. You may experience a more standard 10 wound variant in the Lehman Russ battle tank, but regardless of your foe, this is what Meganobz were made to kill. Their power claws are strength 10 after the ×2 modifier, meaning that they are wounding on 3+, and Meganobz are experts in close combat as well, with a 3+ becoming a 4+ when they wield their massive armor-busting girth. When looking at these opponents, I have switched to a group of 10 Meganobz because your big units of angry, large, stompy mechs and rumbly tanks are going to be several hundred points. So let's see what we can get in a point-for-point matchup. For purposes of killiness testing, I will use the Night Warden base profile, as I believe the 406 points currently at the end of 8th to compare against a squad of 10 Meganobz is most fair at between 350 and 500 points. First, the 350 point base variant of the Meganobz does around 1 wound in the shooting phase reliably against the Night Warden, then an additional 12 in the close combat phase. The 500 point Scorcher variant does more in the shooting phase with a reliable 4 and the same 12 in the combat phase. And the Kill Saw variant reliably puts out 14 in the combat phase only. This is without any modifiers. In the next video, I will show you how to improve these numbers with brutality and cunning. Next up will be flyers. Now that I have shown you what Meganobz were born for, let me also show you how they will fail. Flyers are the nightmare of Meganobz, as they cannot grab them with their claws or cut them with their saws. And flyers get a -1 to hit with ballistics weapons. It's best just to stay away unless your opponent is out of their mind and willingly fly their flyers within range of your combi Scorcher equipped Meganobz, who happen to be bad moods, which a group of 10 can deal 14 damage reliably against a flyer for 2 CP stratagem. This is because the standard custom shooter group of 10 can only generate 1 wound on a flyer reliably. That concludes our video for the week. Thank you for watching video 2 in the series on Meganobz. Stay tuned to the next video, which we will look at their combos to get the most out of them on the tabletop. Remember to subscribe and comment to be entered to win the model being shown in the painting corner of this video, and please help me support the channel by sharing the video with a friend that you know plays this army, using the Amazon affiliate link or by pledging directly to Patreon, linked below.